Hello again, folks. And I gotta say, I am no new age charlatan. I'm a stamp collector. uh, but every now and then I get the feeling like my chakras aren't aligned. I don't know what a chakra is, but man, something in the universe feels off. The poet in me would say that my soul needs to sing a little bit. and I feel like that today. It's been a bruiser of a week in the old salt mines. And so I've decided to get out of town. And I am embarking on a quest to find the best stamp in Duluth. But more importantly, this is a bit of a journey for me, for maybe my ongoing midlife crisis, I guess you could say. That's too strong of a term. It's just been a long week. But I feel a little bit like I need to go out and breathe. And to do so, I've learned over the years that it helps to have a destination in mind. And today's is Duluth. It is the best stamp I can find there is my goal. But I also have a mile marker in mind. I'm going to try to get to mile 3,462 on Highway 61, which all of you Bob Dylan fans might know the meaning of. And at mile 3,462, I found something many years ago, and I'm going to go and try to find it again. So here we go. Well, I think my favorite view of Duluth is going to be shrouded in fog. That happens. Oh my goodness, it's like driving through a cloud. What they say about Duluth is that it has its own weather system because of lake effects. You know, so much snow in the winter and so much. You can be 5 miles away from Duluth and have the temperature be 10 degrees warmer or cooler than it is when you get lakeside. It's pretty amazing. So when I left the cities, it said it was going to be just fine. And here we are approaching the city limits, and I'm driving through a cloud. Which is actually kind of cool. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like it. But around the corner up here is a cliff, and beyond the cliff is the endless expanse of water that is Lake Superior, and we will see if we can see it. And somewhere beyond is the lake. Well, it was quite an ordeal, and I probably wouldn't have it any other way, but I found it. It's not mile marker 3,462. It turns out it's the plot number. And my family and I stumbled upon this right off of Highway 61 a couple of years ago. And it was so miraculous to me that I snapped a picture of that 3462 sign so that I might be able to find it one day again. It is public access. It says it right here. Public access. But there is no sign whatsoever to announce that this is an entrance into anything special. It's just this random plot number. And I am quite pleased that I found it again. I would imagine this bike trail goes into the state park that's nearby. But that's not where we're headed. We're going down there. I had a mentor of mine once tell me that once a day you should stare off into an endless horizon. That poet. And there is one. Gorgeous Lake Superior. But wait, there's more. If you are at all adventurous and don't mind finding the off the beaten trail path, put it that way, you can head this way. And down a little slope. And navigating oh so carefully. This way. And emerge on a beach that very, very few people know about. All you agate hunters and other rock hounds would probably have a field day here. But as it is for me, since Junior isn't with me, I am going to try to find some rocks to bring home to him, which he enjoys finding from time to time. So that's what I've done. Needs one more. Well, like I said, they say that weather can change on a dime up here. I got a storm coming in. So I think it's time to say farewell to this secluded, wonderful beach on Lake Superior and go see if I can find some stamps. Okay, so the first stop in Duluth is one of the most bizarre and wonderful shops I've ever been in my entire life. I actually found 3 stamp albums the last time I was in Duluth at this shop. They were the owner's personal albums, so I don't know that he has more. But I'm going to see, and it is this church, Chester Creek Bookstore. I'll be here. I've never actually seen this before. You can see two more tankers out there on the sea or on the lake waiting for arrival. Oh, it's a Coast Guard vessel. Thank you, U.S. Coast Guard. Thanks, Duluth. So, if you find yourself in Duluth and you fall in love with it, I understand. It's a very, very cool town. And if while you're there, you entertain the notion of moving there, I encourage you to visit in October to April. Because it is a drastically different environment during the winter months than it is in early fall, I can tell you that much. But it is very, very cool. And on the way out of town, I happened to see one of those large econo vans, hashtag van life. and behind the wheel of it was a man that looked to be about my age. And I gotta say, I understand. Especially after the week that I had in the salt mines. I mean, the idea of pulling up stakes and moving it all into a house on wheels and just hitting the open road. Oh, is that pretty appealing? And I can see myself entertaining such ideas once the kids are moved on or have moved on to the next part of their journeys. But here's the thing. That guy probably has a bucket in the back of that van. And he uses that bucket for things I don't use buckets for. I guess that's my way of saying things aren't always as they seem. And you know what? I'm gonna stick with my stamp life. I'm gonna stick with taking journeys into different cultures and distant lands in my own imagination that are triggered by images on little pieces of paper. That's pretty enjoyable to me. And from time to time, I'm going to take journeys to cities like Duluth and try to find more of those pieces of paper. and that's enough for me. I'm not gonna, there's nothing wrong with hashtag van life. It's my guiding philosophy is to each their own, man. That's I'm at the point of my life where I don't care what you do, and I hope you don't care what I do, right? Just to each their own. For me, hashtag stamp life is where it's at. And I am back, and I have to say that was a pretty special trip. In all the years that I've been going to Duluth, I've never actually seen a ship come into harbor. That was very, very cool. And I love how it just so happened that I was walking up to the bridge as it was rising. I didn't know, I don't know when they come in. And I saw people gathering, and I thought, well, heck, maybe there's actually, oh wait, there it is. It was pretty cool. And so now is it time to review my finds from the adventure. I will start with the books. I mentioned on a previous video how much Sinclair Lewis means to me, and this is a very special find for me. This is a collection of letters that he and his brother wrote while they were traipsing around Saskatchewan wilderness. And then it was that adventure that inspired one of his novels. And I love these kinds of books that, that sketch probably only exists in this book, in this paperback book, and the original. So I love these kinds of books that capture pieces of history that would otherwise be lost. And so that's very special coming from one of my favorite authors. That's very cool. Speaking of authors that mean a great deal to me, so I mentioned when I was on the shore of Lake Superior, or as I was walking up to Lake Superior, that a mentor of mine used to say you should look at an endless horizon at least once a day. And that mentor and I worked at a publishing company called Milkweed. And so when I went into the church bookstore, or the bookstore in the church, I had in the back of my mind that I would look at the poetry section. And what I didn't know was that I would find a book by a man that we all cherished. His name was Bill Holm, and he is not as famous as he should be because his work was breathtaking, and he himself was just a one-of-a-kind individual. The first time I met him, he put out his cigarette on the side of the building that our press was located in, and then he put the stub of a cigarette in the back of his ear to save it for later, or behind his ear, and then he walked into our publishing house with a cigarette butt stuck behind his ear. So he was just an amazing man. And this is one of his first collections of poems. And lo and behold, I opened it up and it's signed by him. And so this is very much a reminder and a nice connection for me to a man who meant a lot to me. So that's a very cool book. So on the stamp front, I found this classic work. I know this is a pretty seminal text in our hobby, The World of Classic Stamps by James McKay. I have heard many talk about it. I've never owned a copy for myself, and I am very excited to have it now. So this is a fantastic resource for early stamps. And I am certain to find some stories that I'll tell on the channel at some point, as well as just an opportunity to learn more and, appreciate ones that I might never see. So this is very cool. I love the pictures. I love the information. This was a really nice find. I'm very excited to have that book. And speaking of stamps, I was successful in finding stamps in Duluth. And now, oh, wait, there's more. I also should mention these two cool rocks. If any of you are rock hounds, you can tell me what I'm looking for, because I don't know. But they're shiny and glittery and have minerals and things. And they were different from the others on the beach, and I thought they were very cool. So there you go. There's a couple of rocks. So, speaking of stamps, I found 2 sheets. While I was there, I actually got these at a post office. I did try at the bookstores. I did go into another antique store very quickly. The lady behind the counter gave me a glare as I tried to film when I was walking in, and so I decided to not film that stop. But I got these at a post office. I was a little surprised to see this one. This one I've seen elsewhere. So anywho, I love this sheet. This is a sheet from the mighty Mississippi. Some absolutely beautiful stamps. The Mississippi is my favorite body of water, as it is very close to my home. So that will be hard to beat. And my wife and I actually took had our wedding ceremony, or our wedding celebration, on a paddle boat that looked an awful lot like that, floating down the Mississippi. So I might, that's probably going to be hard to beat. Those are very cool stamps. I'm excited to have these in the collection. And then these guys, the post office actually had a sign up for limited edition stamps. And these were from 2011. So I'm really excited to grab these. I'm assuming they had a sheet for each animal. And so I will try to collect the set. That's very cool to me. And then presumably these, proceeds went to supporting some causes, I would hope, I would assume. But I don't think they were semi-postals. Anywho, very cool. I like that sheet a lot. And like I said, it was from 2011, so I was surprised that they still had it at the post office. And there you go. Your purchase of this stamp benefits conservation funds. That's very cool. Huh. Some good information on the back, too. It is a semi-postal. That's very cool. I know it's going to be a toss-up. Saving the vanishing species is important. And the Mississippi, you know what? Because my wife and I floated down the river in a boat just like that, I'm going to call that the best stamp in Duluth. All right. Thank you, my friends, for joining me on a special journey. If you liked today's video, please do like it and subscribe to the channel. It means a great deal to me. Until next time, take care.